Greetings to everyone. Myself Yasodha. Today the topic of my presentation is all about working with arrays and strings in C. Now I am going to talk about what is an array. An array is a special type of variable used to store multiple values of same data type at a time. In other words, it is a collection of similar data items stored in continuous memory location with a single name. Its example is student roll number or student ID number. So now explain about what is and how to declare an array. When we want to create an array, we must know the data type of values to be stored in that array and also the number of values to be stored in that array. This is the syntax to create an array. Data type space array name and its size. So we can create data type, array name and size, and then we can create the initial values of the data type. Array name, size, value 1, value 2 and so on. So it is nothing but roll number 1, roll number 2, roll number 3 and so on. That's it. And then go to what is the size of an array. What is the size of an array is value 1, value 2 and so on. This infinity. And then without size initial is, so data type array name, so square braces low, size is not mentioned, and then value 1, value 2 and so on. The example code is, so data type means integer, so int, array name is a, and then size is declared in, so 1 or 2 or 3 and so on. So firstly I can give the array size is 3. Here the compiler allocate the 6 bytes of memory location with a single name A. And tell the compiler to store the 3 different integer values, which is it can store 2 bytes of memory, and then into the 2 into 3 is equal to 6. Total 6 bytes of memory is occupied in the array. For the above declaration, the memory is as follows. And then how to given the index value of an array. In the above memory allocation, all the 3 variables is nothing but 0, 1 and 2, and the common name is nothing but A. So accessing individual memory location is not possible directly. So compiler not only allocate the memory but also assign the numerical references values also, that is 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. So that every individual memory location is an array is references to index or subscript or indices. This is nothing but the index values are 0, 1, 2 and so on. Here how to accessing the individual elements of an array. So this is 0, 1 and previously we can told the array size is 3, 0, 1 and 3, and then 0 allocate A of 0 and 1 allocate A of 1 and 2 allocate A of 2. That is the individual values of an array. So A of 0, A of 1, A of 2 is called array name and index values. This is the index values and this is the individual values of arrays. And then the general syntax is array name, index value. So the elements are denoted is follows. For example, we can create and we can give the value of A of 1. This is individual values, you know na? That's why we can give A of 1 is equal to 100. So the memory allocate A of 1 is equal to 100. And now what is the types of an array in C? There are 2 or 3 types of an array in C, that is single dimensional array or one dimensional array, and two dimensional array and multi-dimensional array. You know what is the single dimensional array? Single means once. Single means one. So it is store the list of values in the same data type, and the single dimensional array is used to store a row value only. And a single dimensional array, the data stores in linear form. It is very important, it is stored in a linear form. And the single dimensional array is also called as a one dimensional array or linear dimensional array. And we can use to follow the general syntax of an single dimensional array is, so data type space array name and its size. So the data type is nothing but we can give 100% in integer values only, and then array name is the student roll number. We can already told about it, roll number. So roll number 50. So 1 to we can given 1 to 50 roll numbers of in arrays, single dimensional arrays. The above declaration is an single dimensional array reserves 60 contiguous memory locations of 2 bytes each with the name of roll numbers, and tell the compiler to allow only integer values into those memory locations. And then what is the initialization of a single dimensional array? The general syntax of an single dimensional array and size and initialization. Initial values are, the values in the syntax is you are already know the data type space array name and its size, and we mentioned values and value 1 and value 2. So for the given syntax we can choose the student marks. So the data type is nothing but an integer, so array name is nothing but marks. We can declare marks on 6 members. So usually in one student gives 6 subjects: Telugu, science, social, it's like that, computers, maths, physics, electronics. So we can give 6 subjects of a marks: 89, 60, 90, 76, 78, 92. So the above declaration is of an single dimensional array reserves 6 contiguous memory locations of 2 bytes. So each with the name of marks and initialization with the value 89 and its memory location, 90 in second memory location, and 76 in the third memory location, 78 in the fourth memory location, and 98 in the fifth memory location, and last one 86 in the sixth memory location. So we can also use the following general syntax of the initialization of the single dimensional array without specifying the size and with the initial values. So this is the single dimensional array syntax of without size mentioned. So data type, array name, and value 1, value 2. So the marks of the students is char student space name equal to, so which call is K.B.N call is. In the above example declare the size of an array, the marks is 6 and the size of array, the student's name is 10. This is because of, in case of character array, compiler to store one extra characters called /0 or at the end. And then how to access the elements of an single dimensional array. To access the elements of an single dimensional array, we can use array name followed by the index values of the elements that to be accessed. Here the index value must be enclosed in the square brackets. So open square braces and the closing square braces. So the index value of an give element in an array is the reference number given to each element at the time of the memory location. The index value is and starts with only 0 for the first element and increment 1 for each element. The index value in an array is also called as subscript. So here is the syntax of array name, open braces, index value, closing braces. And then the second array type is multi-dimensional array. So an array is called as multi-dimensional array. So we can created with more than one dimension size is called multi-dimensional array. The multi-dimensional array can be of 2-dimensional array or 3-dimensional array or 4-dimensional array or more. And now how to declare the 2-dimensional array? The syntax is data type space array name and open braces row size and column size. So this in this 2-dimensional array, the example is, so matrix is the example. And now how to initialize the 2-dimensional array? So we can use the following general syntax of initializing a 2-dimensional array with a specific number of rows and columns. In a single dimensional array we can use only row, and in the multi-dimensional array we can use rows and columns both. So the example is matrix. So matrix addition, matrix multiplication is most important in our array. So the general syntax of multi-dimensional array, we can initialize the values in rows and columns. So rows are 1 row, 1 column, 2 rows, 2 columns. So the data type, so that we can use int matrix A, 2 rows and 3 columns. So it is nothing but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 we can given the values. And now the 2-dimensional array reserves. So same, it is allocate 2 bytes of memory in each row and each in the form of the 2 rows and columns. And the first row is initialized with the values in 1, 2, 3. And the second row is initialize the values 4, 5, 6. So the matrix in the syntax is int space matrix A 2 rows and 3 columns is equal to square bracket 1, 2, 3 flower braces 4, 5, 6. So how to accessing individual elements of the 2-dimensional array? In a C, to access the elements of a 2-dimensional array, we use array name, row index values and column index values of the element that to be accessed. Here the row and the column index values must be enclosed in separate square braces, as you know. And in case of 2-dimensional array, the compiler assign the separate index values for rows and columns. So we can use 2-dimensional array syntax is separate rows and columns, array name space row index and column index. So as you know, index is declared 0 to infinity values, so that matrix A is 0 rows and 1 column, that is equal to the value is 10. In the above statement, the elements with a row index 0 and column index of 1 of matrix A array is assigned with the value is 10. And now our topic is strings in C. So as you know, string is nothing but a character. So that a string is a set of characters enclosed in double quotations marks. The string is a character array of the single dimensional. In C program we can use a 1-dimensional array of the character data type, that is a static memory allocation, and using a pointer array of a character data type, that is called dynamic memory allocation. So there are 2 methods to create strings, that is static memory allocation SMA and dynamic memory allocation DMA. And now how to create a string in C language? We can create 1-dimensional array of the character data type, and we can use both static and dynamic memory allocations when we created a string. The size of the array must be 1 or more than the actual numbers of the characters to be stored. That extra memory block is used to store string termination characters, that is also called null, is nothing but 0. The following declaration of the string of size is 5 characters, that is char. So string can be the string data type is given in character variables, that is nothing but char is a data type, and then string of 6, size 6. So 6 characters can be declared. The following declaration create a string variables of the specific size of the time of a program execution. Char stat memory allocation 15. And now assign, how to assign the string values in C. The string values in assigned in following 2 methods. This is initialization and then declaration. So initialization and declaration is most important, and then this is called string special characters slashes, single quote, double quote, backslash. And now the examples of assigning string values. So this is the code of how to assign the value of a string. This is a simple program. And then how to read the string values from the user during the program execution. We can follow 2 methods, that is scanf statement and gets method. So scanf statements you already know in C programs, and gets also. And in this string we can use scanf is reads a single word, and gets method is used to read a line of a text. And you can use the scanf method, we can read only one word of a string, that is percentage, and printf methods also. And this is the example of reading, how to read a string value using scanf method, and how to read a string value using gets method. And now what is the string handling functions in C? So they are string length, string copy, and then string concatenation, and then string compare, and this is the function, syntax, and description. So what is string copy? So this string copy is nothing but copy string 2 value into string 1 value. And what is string length? It returns total number of the characters in a string 1. And what is concatenation? This is appends on the string 2 to string 1. And what is string compare? It compare string 2 to string 1 and return 0. And what is a string lower cases? So it converts all the characters of the strings 1 in lower cases, and string upper, it converts all characters of the string 1 to upper cases. And last and most important is string compare. So string compare is compare 2 strings, that is string 1 and string 2, by ignoring the cases of upper or lower. And now string character and string and string set and string reverse is also the functions of an string handling functions. Thank you.